Everything around you is energy, including the bond you feel with the person who dominates your thoughts, shows up in your dreams, or appears in the quiet synchronicities the universe lays before you. This isn't a metaphor, it's science. It's the quantum truth that governs how two souls interact when they've touched each other in ways the physical world can't measure. What happens in your energy field sends ripples across invisible dimensions, reaching them, shifting the space that exists between you, whether they consciously notice it or not.
Modern studies of quantum entanglement confirm what mystics have known for centuries. Two entities once connected remain linked across any distance, responding to each other instantly, moving in sync to a rhythm that defies space and time. You and this person are entangled like this, bound by threads that distance, silence, or absence cannot sever, and every shift in your consciousness resonates within theirs, changing them in ways their rational mind cannot explain. The physics of attraction often seems counterintuitive, but it becomes clear when you understand how energy flows through space and consciousness. When you chase, when you push, when you pursue with desperation and need, you create a frequency that actually repels the very person you want to draw close. This isn't punishment, it's physics. It's the universal law of polarity at work. Energy is drawn to completeness, to what is abundant and self-contained. It retreats from grasping, from scarcity, from the vibration that says, "I cannot exist without you." This signal tells the universe and them that you are not ready to receive. The masculine energy seeks pursuit, mystery, and challenge. The feminine energy seeks to attract by existing fully within itself, by radiating magnetism without needing. When you chase, you step into the pursuing role, forcing them into retreat. This imbalance doesn't feel right at the soul level, and they pull back, not because they don't care, but because energy always seeks equilibrium. Your neediness triggers a natural instinct to escape, to find space where they are free of the weight of your dependence. When you release the chase, when you stop bridging the gap with desperate energy, something powerful happens in the field that connects you. Nature abhors a vacuum. This is not just a saying, it is physical law. When the empty space appears where your anxious energy once occupied, the universe moves to fill it. Movement, change, and rebalancing are drawn in naturally. Energy begins to shift, to realign, to restore harmony in ways your mind may not immediately understand. The act of stepping back, of centering yourself, of rooting your power in your own being instead of handing it over to them, creates a profound recalibration. In that space, attraction and connection can emerge again, not from desperation, but from alignment, from completeness, from the quiet but undeniable force of your own energetic presence. They sense the change in your energy long before you speak, long before any outward behavior shifts, before anything in the physical world signals a transformation. The absence of your previous energy registers within them as a subtle disturbance, a missing presence their system had become accustomed to. Even if they consciously rejected it, even if they insisted they didn't care, the human nervous system adapts to consistent energy. And when that energy disappears, their subconscious begins asking questions with no logical answers. The one who was once running begins to notice your absence in ways they never noticed your presence. This is when the dynamic starts to reverse, when energy begins to flow in the opposite direction. The person who had retreated starts to wonder, to reflect, to notice gaps you leave behind, creating a magnetic pull that draws them back, not because of your words or actions, but because the energetic field itself has shifted. You and this person reflect one another like mirrors, showing the unhealed wounds, hidden patterns, and unconscious energies that still live inside each of you. This is the mirror effect Carl Jung described when speaking about projection. What we see in others often exists within our own psyche. Their distance may mirror your fear of intimacy. Their rejection may reflect your own self-doubt. and their inability to commit may echo your uncertainty about deserving commitment. This isn't about blame, it's about energetic truth. Relationships act as mirrors for what we need to see within ourselves. You cannot change them, but you can heal yourself. By working on your own wounds, raising your frequency, and stepping into your power, the reflection changes. The person before you either evolves in response or drifts away to make space for someone aligned with your new vibration. The key is turning inward, because energy always moves from the source. When you heal yourself, everything else responds. Beneath individual consciousness flows the collective unconscious, the vast reservoir where all minds connect, where the boundaries between self and other blur, and where your thoughts and theirs exist together beyond the ego's reach. This explains the synchronicities that seem uncanny, the dreams where they appear with messages you struggle to decode, the moments when their name appears at precisely the moment you think of them. This is not coincidence. It is the soul speaking through a language your conscious mind cannot fully grasp. Jung documented countless experiences of telepathic connection, precognitive dreams, and synchronistic events, proving that these shared experiences are real. Your bond exists across multiple levels: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, and changes within you ripple across all of them, touching them in ways their conscious mind cannot block. The paradox is simple yet profound. Detachment draws them near, and grasping pushes them away. Detachment is one of the most misunderstood principles in manifestation. Many confuse it with not caring, with giving up, or with the death of desire, but it is, in truth, the birth of genuine magnetic power. Detachment doesn't mean you stop loving this person, or hoping for a reunion, or severing the energetic ties between you. It means you release the need for a specific outcome. You stop making your happiness dependent on whether they return. You stop collapsing your emotional stability into the timing of their messages or their decisions. This is what's called outcome independence, the energy that allows manifestation to flow. When you need them, when your peace hinges on their choice, you emit a frequency of lack and incompleteness. The universe responds not to words, but to your vibration. By letting go, by making peace with any outcome, you step into wholeness, and that is the energy that attracts. When you shift your focus inward, when you stop obsessing over every interaction and redirect your energy to your own growth, the grip of longing begins to loosen naturally. You stop scrolling, stop rehearsing messages, stop replaying past conversations searching for answers or strategies. The mental loops lose power because your attention is no longer tied to them, but to yourself, to your own evolution, to the life you are building regardless of their presence. This internal shift is what reorganizes the energetic field. External confirmations follow naturally, synchronicities multiply, their name appears in unexpected places, opportunities and people align with your newfound self-worth, and the energy you radiate begins to attract consistent love rather than sporadic attention. You notice their presence in new ways, not because you seek it, but because they are responding to the change in your vibration. This is the magnetism of detachment. When you stop chasing, the energy starts moving toward you on its own. The moment you release the desperate pursuit, a profound, energetic law comes into play. Nature abhors a vacuum. By withdrawing your need, you create space, an empty place in the energetic field that naturally pulls their energy toward you. They sense the shift before they can even name it, feeling the subtle absence, the change in your frequency. The person who once withdrew begins to move closer, drawn to the emptiness you've created, compelled by the magnetic pull of your centered, self-contained energy. Energy always flows to fill space, always seeks balance. Your detachment, your peace, your completeness becomes irresistible, not through manipulation, not through pressure, but through the pure, undeniable power of being fully aligned with yourself. This is how attraction operates at its deepest, most energetic level. They sense the shift before they can even consciously understand it. They feel the absence of your pursuing energy, like the sudden quiet after constant noise, the stillness after a storm. The empty space left when something that was always there suddenly vanishes. This creates tension in their system, sparks questions they cannot easily answer, and awakens the very pursuit instinct that went dormant while you were chasing. Suddenly, the energetic roles are reversed, and they find themselves in the position you once held. For some, this realization triggers panic, the fear of having lost something irreplaceable, the understanding that the love they took for granted is no longer freely available. They begin to recognize your value, to see what they once overlooked, and this recognition generates a magnetic pull, a desire to reconnect, to reach out before the opportunity slips away completely. For others, your withdrawal triggers a subtler form of attraction. Witnessing your strength and inner peace inspires respect, a magnetism born from the healed energy you now embody. Wholeness itself draws others naturally. When someone radiates balance and integration, they emanate a quality that resonates at the soul level, even when the ego resists. They feel drawn to you without fully understanding why. Your energy now reflects the very harmony they are searching for, and this is why your personal growth affects them so profoundly. The shifts in your reality ripple into theirs, proving that focusing on your own evolution produces exactly the outcome you were hoping for when you were focused on them. Manifestation begins with a radical turning inward, a total redirection of focus from the external to the internal, from them to you, from the relationship to your own consciousness. You become invested in your own healing, in your own joy, in ways that are independent of whether they return or recognize your worth. This is not a tactic, it is transformation. You find what lights you up, pursue interests that absorb your attention, build a life so rich that their absence is merely a detail rather than the center of your world. You become someone who does not need them, not because you stopped caring, but because you began caring for yourself with the same intensity you once reserved for them. This whole, self-sufficient version of you is irresistibly magnetic because it embodies completeness, confidence, and internal validation, the freedom of needing nothing outside yourself to feel whole. Their attraction arises naturally, effortlessly, to someone who would be content either way, creating the energetic conditions where reunion becomes possible without desperation, without force, and in perfect alignment with universal law. Quantum physics shows us that multiple timelines exist at the same time, parallel realities coexisting until your consciousness collapses one possibility into experience. Your reality is constantly being shaped by the frequency you broadcast, by the beliefs and expectations held within your energetic field. Right now, you exist across multiple timelines. In one, this person returns, transformed and ready for the love you have always offered. In another, someone better appears, bringing everything you wanted from this person plus qualities you never knew to ask for. In yet another, you realize your wholeness was never dependent on anyone else, experiencing joy that transcends any relationship. Your energy, your frequency, and your consciousness determine which of these realities collapses into your lived experience, not through effort or conscious choice, but through the steady vibration you maintain and the self-beliefs you hold every single day. In one timeline, they return because your healing made you magnetic, because your frequency shifted, because the soul contract between you demands integration rather than separation. In another, they fade from your reality to make room for someone whose presence enriches your life effortlessly, a love that flows without struggle. Both outcomes serve your highest good. Both possibilities carry gifts your present self cannot yet perceive because you are still operating from lack rather than abundance. You are the creator of your reality. Every thought, every belief, every moment of energy you emit determines which version of the future collapses into your present. The universe responds with perfect precision to the frequency you maintain. Choose your energy consciously because it is the force that shapes which timeline meets you. What most people don't realize is that the universe doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to who you are while wanting it. Desire alone is not enough. Your energy must match the reality you wish to experience. When you operate from lack, from desperation, or from neediness, you send a frequency that reinforces separation, scarcity, and resistance. But when you cultivate inner completeness, when you anchor yourself in your own power and your own joy, your frequency signals abundance, readiness, and alignment. The universe doesn't need your explanations or your logic. It responds to the energetic signature you maintain. That signature communicates to every part of reality, from the person you are hoping will return, to opportunities you have yet to recognize, to synchronicities that guide you toward the life and the experiences that reflect your inner state. This is why inner work is never optional if you want to manifest consciously. Healing, self-awareness, and frequency raising are not just spiritual exercises. They are practical tools for shaping your reality. Every fear you release, every wound you tend to, every belief you shift adjusts the vibration you broadcast. When you step into your own power, the external world begins to reflect that change. Relationships that were once challenging may smooth out. People who were once distant may draw closer. Circumstances that felt impossible begin to open naturally. The universe mirrors your inner state because energy flows outward, and everything you experience is the reflection of the frequency you maintain. This is not wishful thinking, it is law. It is consistent, precise, and reliable if you learn to recognize it. It's also important to understand that timing is not linear in the energetic sense. The person you hope for may return, not because you have tried to fix or persuade them, but because your inner evolution created the space for their own transformation. They respond to your frequency, often before they even realize it consciously. And if they do not return, it is not a failure. It is the universe redirecting you towards something better, something more aligned with your new vibration. Every outcome contains the potential for growth, for expansion, for awakening. The real magic happens when you stop resisting the unknown, when you stop trying to control what belongs outside of your jurisdiction, and when you allow your energy to radiate freely without attachment. That's when the invisible threads of connection, timing, and manifestation begin to operate in perfect synchrony. The paradox is that the less you need, the more you are able to receive. The more you anchor yourself in wholeness, the more the universe has space to deliver what aligns with your highest good. It's why chasing never works, and why detachment is misunderstood. Detachment is not giving up, it is aligning. It is saying to the universe, I am complete, I am whole, and I am ready to receive whatever is in harmony with my energy. When you reach that place, reality responds in kind. Your desires no longer have to fight against resistance, because there is no resistance. You are no longer pulling, you are allowing, and in that space, the universe fills in the blanks, often in ways far beyond your imagination. The truth is, everything begins and ends with you, your energy, your frequency, your state of being. When you focus on healing yourself, on raising your vibration, on stepping fully into your own power, the world responds. The people, the circumstances, the opportunities you desire are drawn to you effortlessly, not because you chase them, but because you have become magnetic to them. Detachment is not about giving up, it's about alignment. It's about choosing wholeness over lack, joy over longing, and self-mastery over desperation. When you embody this, The universe conspires in your favor, and everything you've hoped for begins to flow naturally into your life. Trust yourself, trust your energy, and know that your frequency shapes your reality in ways far greater than your mind can comprehend. Your power is within you, and when you embrace it fully, nothing can resist your magnetic presence.